Good evening and welcome to tonight's Capital Outlay Committee meeting. This is Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. It is now 6:30 p.m. We're meeting at Norwood Town Hall, 566 Washington Street in Norwood. We're meeting in the Finance Conference Commission room, and this is our first meeting of the year. So welcome everybody. We do have a quorum for this evening's meeting. The agenda for this evening consists of committee reorganization if necessary, approval of the September 4th, 2024 meeting minutes from last year, because we haven't met in that time. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
Just started.
And you guys are punctual.
We try. We try. We have item C, which is the school department IT FY26 project discussion. These are the items for the Springtown meeting. We do every year include project discussions, IT projects from the school for the spring meeting every year, even though our main capital outlay plan is organized to be presented to the special town meeting in November. But we will have a discussion this evening regarding the spring request from the school department. We do have a document that we have an update on approved FY25 capital projects. Those projects we approved last year, and Mike distributed a nice summary memo on those. And then the last item of the evening will be setting a schedule for future capital outlay meetings in anticipation of presenting a schedule of review of our FY26 capital outlay plan, which will be presented will be presented at the special town meeting in the fall. So, but there's a lot of things that we need to do to get to that point for the fall town meeting. So item number one, I put down potential committee reorganization. I did this last year. I haven't talked much with Kevin, but I'll speak with him. If the committee is of the mind to retain myself and Kevin as chair of the committee and vice chair, I don't think we need to proceed to a vote, but if there's anyone else who has an interest in serving, I certainly wouldn't mind entertaining that, but...
you don't need it. I make a motion that the offices stay as they were.
And second.
Seconded by Tim, so the motion is to continue Bob
you
Donnelly as chair and Kevin Connolly
as vice chair.
So the Donnelly-Connolly combination, I see, is happening again. I'll have to do a roll call vote. Mark Woolley?
Yes.
Ernie Pachikowski?
Yes.
Tim McDonough?
Yes.
Ann Haley?
Yes.
Eric Fleming?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to nothing. And
Are you gonna ask him?
you know what? You came in late, so I didn't have you checked off.
Yeah.
Anne
sitting right
Marie.
here. Yes.
See what you get for coming in late? I didn't put you in check.
I was like,
If I do it again, you can slap me. Or Ann, either one. 7-0 vote. All right, and we have item number 2. This is the approval of the September 4th, 2024 meeting minutes.
Mr. Chair, just with one correction,
Yeah.
Mr. Fleming's name has one M in it, so we have revised that already on the draft. It just didn't make the printed packet, so as amended would be appropriate for the vote.
Do I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
so moved.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Fleming. Any discussion? We'll move to a roll call vote. All in favor? Anne Marie.
Yes.
Anne Marie.
Yes.
Mr. Pachikowski.
Yes.
Mr. Woolley.
Yes.
Mr. Fleming. Mr. McDonough.
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Did I leave anyone out? I did it correctly. Great. Okay, next item of business is the school department IT FY26 project discussion for consideration for the Springtown meeting. We have representatives from the school department. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Sean and Joe. Joe, you're going to talk about the items. We have the detail in
Sure will.
in the packet, but why don't you walk us through the FY26 request?
Absolutely.
please?
The FY26 request is for 2 computer lab refreshes at the high school. They're specialty labs. You might remember last year's project had, actually 2 years ago, excuse me, had the CAD lab, our engineering lab and robotics lab. This time around, it's our television media lab. That is a partnership with NCM. So all the television media programs have iMac computers that the students do video editing on each day. Those are 7 years old or 8 years old next year. In the past, this computer lab was funded through Norwood Community Media. But they felt moving forward that it's the responsibility of the school district to replace the labs. They did it the first 2 cycles, which was very generous of them. And they maintain the equipment of the state-of-the-art TV studio itself that the students use every single day. So as a school district, we would be replacing these 21 iMac computers in the lab that they use. And then also the second lab refresh is the computer science lab at the high school. It's Windows PCs used for computer science programs. That is a recent, the computer science program has recently become a pathway as part of the high school as well. So it's important to refresh those. This was actually, if you look at last year's proposal, this of our 5-year plan, this was actually slated for FY27, and FY26 originally had phase 2 of our wireless access points at the high school. We've swapped those 2 programs because we're not going to get the E-rate funding that we would get for the wireless access points for this cycle.
Okay.
When we go out for E-rate, we get 60% off of the equipment. It's a 5-year budget cycle. Our budget's depleted for E-rate. We'll be back again next year. So instead of going for more money next year as far as the 2 sets of wireless access points that we're gonna do and the computer lab, the amounts worked out so that if we swap those 2 projects, it would be about the same ask for this year and the same and for next year.
So without the E-rate program, we'd be paying more for the...
We'd be paying 60% more for that equipment, yes.
Questions from the board, from the committee, rather?
How much contingency do you have in the $70,000? Is there enough there to cover if the prices go up?
Yes, yeah. If prices go up, that's a good question. We do, there's the question of possible tariffs affecting technology pricing. That's not factored into this number right now. But we should have enough leeway that we'd be able to get the job done.
So we're not having a March town meeting, so this will go to the annual in May.
Correct.
All right, so we'd have time to, if we needed to adjust the price, the value, we'd have time to do
Yeah,
that.
it's a great point.
Mike, off the top of your head, when do the warrant articles get approved for the May meeting? Sometime in March or April?
We start hearing them towards the end of March, and then I think the board votes either the first meeting in April, and then we get the warrant together. So we do have some time, yes.
Okay.
March,
Okay.
April.
So
Okay.
it'd be good to-
I do actually have those in my calendar.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, cool.
I saved them all.
Yeah.
we don't have to want to check in before we actually
Yep.
finalize that, just to make sure we got the right amount.
The motions meeting is the week of the 5th. I can figure it out. I know this is so sad of me to say these things. No, it's not easy to find if you don't know exactly where it is. The mailing goes out on April 11th.
Yep.
Okay,
Board of Selectmen is reviewing on April 8th.
Perfect.
okay,
Great.
good. I had a question, and it escaped me. Just for edification of the committee, so as we do every year, thank you, the school department, for the information. You've laid out the IT needs for the next several years. In addition to considering these at our May meeting, special town meeting coming up in May, we usually discuss, when we make a recommendation to the finance committee as well, and the school committee has voted on these, I assume, right?
We will, yeah.
We will, okay. All right. When the recommendation goes forward, we will need to identify a funding source. Just based on past motions for IT equipment from the schools, the motion has always been, the funding source has always been from free cash. And just for everyone's edification, as we sit here today, free cash is sitting around, well, I guess that's, anyways, we have projected that by the end of the town meeting in FY26, we're still going to be sitting on probably about $20 million worth of free cash. I only give that for, and you guys from the FinCom can chime in, I only give you that dollar amount just to let you know that for this particular request, which is $70,000 in total, it would seem that free cash would be the appropriate vehicle as opposed to borrowing. Just, I think we all can agree on that. But that's just what we're looking at from a free cash perspective, so we shouldn't have any issues.
I
So
don't think we usually borrow for
small, something like that, yeah.
Well, one is small, but for this type of
Right,
purchase,
right,
doesn't have the long life.
right,
Right.
exactly. Any other discussions, any questions for the school department requests for IT? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve with identification of the funding source.
We'll make a motion that we approve with free cash as a funding source.
I'll second.
And that is for the $70,000 in total for both purchases.
Okay.
So it's been motioned and seconded. We'll go through the roll call vote. Eric.
Aye.
Mark.
Yes.
Ernie.
Yes.
Ann.
Yes.
Anne Marie.
Yes.
Tim.
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Did I miss anybody? Oh, good. It passes unanimously. All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just want to mention one thing, by the way. Joe did a great job, and he put the 5-year plan here. The first 3 years are all relatively within that 80,000, but the year 4 and 5, they do start to go up more because of some things that are coming our way, just so
Yep.
you know.
Yeah.
Things can change before then, but it's just good to take note of that.
Yes, yeah, you can see that, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you both for attending.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Yeah, see you later. Take care.
Yeah.
Okay, next item for discussion, folks, is, what we've been doing the last couple of cycles is, Mike has been very helpful with just getting the, we approved a FY26 capital outlay program in November or October of last year. And so periodically during this year, this particular committee meeting for this year, we asked the town manager and assistant town manager to work with the department heads to get us up to speed with how's it going with the other projects that we have previously approved in FY24. So anything of note here?
Sure.
Mike, that you want to point out?
Sure, thank you, Mr. Chair. So as the chair had mentioned, we have this practice of bringing every couple of months the updates to the projects. This memo that's before you tonight has what has occurred since the October 24th town meeting for the FY25 projects, and we did also want to keep on the radar a couple of the FY24 major projects like the pool, the traffic lights, and the water tank. So those 3 FY24 projects are still on this list as well. I'll also just mention that on the first project under the airport, we did actually have an update this morning from the airport manager, so I can give you an update now on that. So this is regarding the airport runway 1735 design and construction.
Sure.
The new update is that the engineers are putting together the closeout package to submit to the FAA. The project is almost complete at this time, and the final pay request will be paid after closeout. So we have had some movement since this last update, which is more like from last fall. That's written here. Other than that, I think really the highlights here is that a lot of the trucks that we've ordered, one of the pickup trucks came in for facilities. The fire engine has been ordered, although the build out for that takes several years.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
3 years.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask about that. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that is absolutely, I mean, it is what it is. I guess there's only so many companies that do this. But, you know,
Yeah.
we order it in 24 and you don't get it to 28. I mean,
Yeah.
that's cuckoo.
I
And
imagine that.
ambulances are almost as bad, right?
Well, we got some of those early, didn't we?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
But normally,
But normally, yeah.
when we get into the departments, you know, we should ask the fire chief, you know, if he's got another one that he's gonna need, that he's gonna, you know, he's holding off, you know, if it takes 4 years to get it, let's, you know,
For now, yeah.
we'll figure it out if we need it, you know.
so when they deliver it,
I think your thinking is
Yeah.
on the same page with what all of the departments that deal with vehicles are on that thought process right now.
Yeah.
So I imagine, I don't know for sure because the FY26 projects haven't been discussed yet, but I think you'll probably see that in the FY26.
That's crazy.
We have ordered the cruisers for the police department. The rider mower was received. The salt truck was ordered, waiting on delivery. Cemetery truck 1 was received. The trackless tractor was
Excuse me?
received. Yep.
Sorry,
Yep.
back up to the police department.
Yeah.
The vehicles were ordered, but they haven't come in yet.
Yeah.
Do we have any kind of idea of how long it's going to take to get those vehicles?
Probably going to be before 2028.
Well before 2028.
Okay.
And these were just ordered
I'm
since
just kidding.
October, so yeah,
Okay.
I'm not sure. It's only been a
Alright.
few months. I guess the good news is a lot of the projects that were funded at the October town meeting have already are in process, out to bid, have been bid, are ordered. So
Okay.
this is good. I can, you know, as we progress these updates, I could probably get a better window for you on that. I just don't know right now. And then for the FY24 project, so for those that live or pass by South Norwood, you'll see the pool is looking good. We have an opening date to the public of June 18th for the pool. It should be done being constructed in May, but you know, with summertime weather and such, that'll looking at a grand opening June 18th. Our new recreation director Sam White mentioned that this morning at our department head meeting. So more information to come on that, but it's looking good. The traffic project, the bid opening was actually the day of town meeting, October 24th. It was awarded for $4.893 million, and that work is going to be commencing in the spring. The water tank project did make the Clean Water Trust SRF list of approved projects. So design's complete, project scheduled to go out to bid this month, pending final approval from the Water Trust. So that was Mark Ryan's update for that. Hawes Pool, I mentioned, the demo's completed, construction's ongoing. And then the Ivets courts, preparing the bids right now for those courts to be refurbished. The batting order, it looks like they're gonna be starting with the Savage courts and then moving on in the spring and then moving on to the Ivets courts afterwards.
I don't have it right in front of me, Mike, but the traffic signals at 4.893. That probably came in slightly under budget, if I believe,
Five.
we approved probably over $5 million.
I believe you're right, yes.
So
Five, I think it was 5 was the town meeting
That's
vote.
my recollection as well.
So the Washington Street Bridge looks like it's over budget. The bid of $19,660, which in the budget I believe was $850.
I think you're right, yes.
So we need to appropriate additional money, or how are we gonna?
I will have to look into that. I haven't heard So thank you for pointing that out. I'm not sure if the DPW is planning on making up the difference with cash. I'll have to ask them.
Yeah,
And it's a $70,000 hole, I mean, plus whatever other
right.
contingencies, so.
Right. There is also a process, I think we've gone through before, when you do have, for example, if traffic signals are coming in under budget, that means that there's a financial report that can detail just what we're budgeted versus what we expended, and there are occasions where a project comes in under budget, and that can become available for capital spending in the future, but we probably need to talk to Jeff about taking a look at
Yeah,
that.
particularly if it's in the same bond issue,
Yeah.
but still, we need to,
Right.
that's a significant difference, so.
Yes, I think the DPW director does have, just looking at his email, he may have some ideas about that delta, but still determining, there's no decisions.
Okay.
What you're
Yeah.
saying is he might have some availability of cash in his operating budget.
That
to cover
or
the difference.
road funds, perhaps, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chapter 90 is about that.
yes,
Okay.
correct, chapter 90, that's right.
All right. Good.
That's right.
Was there any, I think we talked about this, there was no state grants, infrastructure grants or anything like that for that bridge? I
I don't think so.
The
I don't
town's-
think so.
I think the town's
Yeah,
totally
yes.
responsible for it, right?
Yeah, I think it was too small, that's right, Clayton, yeah, I think you said that. Yep.
Any other questions, comments on the list of projects updates? And again, periodically during the year when we meet, we'll get further updates.
I have a question about the pool. I wasn't on the board when all the information went back and forth about the pool, but I had the impression that they were going to be working on the pool during the summer, starting in whenever it was, May or something, and then they were going to stop for a while, snow, rain, sleet, and all that kind of stuff. I believe that was the way I heard it, and yet it seems that they've worked on it all winter long. And so I had two visions here. One where they were supposed to have stopped working on it because of the cement and all that sort of things, and everything had to be done by like November or something. And then they weren't going to be there for that length of time till, early spring. And yet now they're working through it all winter long. Shouldn't we be getting it
No.
done?
The
finished?
plan is already, my understanding, Mike, is that the plan has always been that they will get as much construction done before January 1st of this year, but
So
January
January.
1st would have gone into winter season where there's less construction being able to be
Yeah.
done on site.
Okay, it was January 1st?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
in the fall.
Yeah, so no, they would, when they started it, July.
It was like July 1st, yeah.
The plan was really to
Yes.
get most of the work done, initial work done in the good weather, and then January 1st in winter mode. If you go down there now, you won't see as many construction workers there,
Yeah,
because they can't
no,
do any
yeah.
outdoor work.
Yeah, I think they're working on the building more now.
The
pool-
Yeah.
That's a pretty good sized
equipment
pumping
building.
house.
Yes, they're working on, I think that's what the plan was for the winter months with it. I think the pool, the shells, everything's all there,
Yeah.
so that,
Right.
yeah.
And the pool equipment, I think, is also a room for storing equipment as well. If I remember.
Correct, yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah.
why it's that big.
So, I know they are working, and I know we have weekly
Yeah.
meetings with them, so,
Yeah.
and in fact, tomorrow, Wednesday, is our weekly meeting, so I'll, if there's any pertinent updates, I'll share with the committee.
Okay.
But
thank you.
it's coming along, and it is on project, on time, and so far on budget, so
Yeah.
no surprises.
No, I was just surprised to see them
Yeah.
working all the way through the winter months, because I thought
You
they
you
were
can work
supposed-
year round,
Yeah.
it just takes, it costs more through the special procedures in the
Right.
winter time, but, so you try to avoid it, but.
So I know we're also up against,
Weather related.
we're also up against, we want to have this pool open
Right.
By June,
Right.
so they're working.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, if there are no other questions, we'll proceed to the next agenda item. So, here we go. Scheduling future capital outlay committee meetings. So this is just to take a look and I think we'll just kind of set the table for maybe our next meeting and maybe schedule that, and maybe Mike and I can kind of like, working with Mike, we can kind of go back to the town management and start coordinating with department heads in terms of their activities for updating and proposing their FY26 projects. So typically, we start, the heavy lifting of the capital outlay plan is usually in June and July. And that means that we have to use the summertime to really have the process for bringing department heads in to have our discussions, get the financial updates, to ready ourselves for a recommendation in the fall in time for it to be considered for the fall town meeting in October of this year. So ultimately, the heavy work that we'll be doing is June, July, August timeframe. I was going to suggest, and maybe Mike and I think we can talk about days of the week that work well, and I think Mike and I can kind of like offline just kind of outline from a calendar perspective the different activities that we need to have in order to get to that point. But I'm wondering whether or not if it makes sense to the committee that we set a meeting perhaps in April to kind of like solidify our calendar of activities for the year. I think it's kind of early to do it.
And in the event that we had to revote on.
And at the event we have to, and it'll give us an opportunity to consider.
Yeah, any last minute things before town meeting.
Yeah, I mean, the warrant will have already been, the warrant. Well, so you can
April,
change, you
yeah.
can always, you can even do it at town meeting.
Early April would be better.
Yeah.
The week of the 7th, for example, would be good. Or even the 1st that week.
Okay, let's see. Let's just check calendars. I'm going to suggest something after, maybe in the second week, Mike, only because I guess by April 1st, in February and March, we're going to be knee-deep into preparation for a special town meeting in the budget cycle for the May annual town meeting.
The articles are due March 7th.
So you say
March
that?
what?
March 7th.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we'll know for sure by then about the capital.
Well, you don't have the article just saying to see what sum.
You don't have the
Yeah.
sums, right.
We just need to be able to have an opportunity before town meeting to vote and confirm the
Yeah,
actual
they,
amount, if it's different from what we just voted.
So I had said April for the Board of Selectmen to vote on in April, but they review the yellow sheets and the draft warrants on the
Right.
25th of March.
Okay.
Even later in April, just so we have something.
Yeah. The 8th is what day of the week works for folks? So is this typically a Tuesday that we're meeting? Is that what we agreed to last year?
I thought we were like
Wednesdays?
Thursdays for whatever reason.
Okay.
I can pull.
Because the other nights, school committees Wednesday night,
Wednesday.
selectmen's Tuesday night,
Mhm.
planning's Monday night.
FinCom is Thursday night.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Which gives you the 10th.
So last year we were all over the place. We did
Oh.
a July meeting on a Monday, an August meeting on also Monday, and then the September meeting was on a Wednesday. So bounced around.
We, and Tuesdays are okay as long as it's not the second Tuesday or the fourth Tuesday, because we only meet on those dates usually. And our plan right now is for a meeting on the 8th and the 22nd, which would leave the week of the 14th, specifically if it's a Tuesday, it would be
Is that
April
school
the
vacation
15th.
in April?
Yes,
think-
I believe it is.
And I think
No,
the
it's the
following
following
Oh, it's
week.
21st.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
21st.
21st.
Yes, that's right.
Right. So we can survey the board. We have some members who are not here today. It's tax day.
I was just gonna say, it's tax day, I mean.
The 14th.
Tax day.
How fitting.
That's no good.
April 15th, can we tentatively, can the committee members tentatively hold the 15th at 6:30? And we'll, as we get closer to the timeline, we'll reach out to committee members to confirm it, but
What date was it?
the 15th,
15th.
The day after Norwood 101.
day after Norwood 101, tax day, all sorts of things. But I think by that time, we also will have settled down, we will be already through all the work associated with yellow sheets and warrant articles and distributing the materials for the town meeting. So that seemed to be a good date, and at that point, we can lay out our work plan for FY26 planning.
Works for me.
All right? And we will reach out to the members who aren't here just to kind of like get them up to speed with that as well. All right? So we'll schedule the 15th, we'll come back to the 15th, and at that time, I think we'll have a good opportunity to kind of just walk through the work to be done for the FY26 plan, which again, is a lot of scheduling during spring and summer, unfortunately. But we get it done. Anything else, folks?
Motion to adjourn?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, a motion has been made to adjourn. I will take a roll call vote. Eric?
Aye.
Mark?
Yes.
Ann Haley?
Yes?
Anne Marie? Tim McDonough?
Yes.
Ernie Pachakowski?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. We are adjourned. Thank you, folks, for coming out.
Great.